Before you dive into this romantic tale, make sure to watch the video until the very end. This story holds unexpected turns, emotional depth, and a powerful ending that ties everything together beautifully. Chapter 1: A Leap of Faith. When Rowan Bennett stepped off the small twin-prop plane onto the dusty tarmac of the Outback, the heat hit like a slap. A sharp contrast from the sterile conference rooms of San Francisco, where digital pitches and luxury tastings filled their days. Rowan, a rising executive in a boutique beverage distribution company, had gambled everything on a dream to start their own label. But dreams, as Rowan quickly learned, needed more than ambition. They needed suppliers. After a major deal fell through, desperation had led them to a remote sheep and wine estate in southern Australia, owned by a reclusive but renowned vintner family. Rowan had emailed, called, even tried LinkedIn messages. No response. So they did what only the bold or foolish would do, booked a flight, showed up, and asked to speak to the owner in person. That's how Rowan met Cal Maddox. Dirt-streaked boots, rolled sleeves, and a look that could slice stone. Cal didn't trust easily, especially not city types with shiny portfolios and practiced smiles. But something about Rowan's sincerity made Cal pause. Not long enough to say yes, but enough to offer an alternative. You want to understand our wine? Work the land. 2 weeks. Earn your knowledge. Then we'll talk. Rowan accepted, not out of pride, but necessity. They needed this. More than a contract. They needed a fresh start. Chapter 2: A Grape Among Sheep. Rowan's first days on the estate were brutal. Early mornings. Sheep that refused to cooperate. Blistering heat. Even the vines seemed to conspire against them. Cal remained distant, watching from afar or offering curt instructions. But the estate's forewoman, Kira, took Rowan under her wing. She showed Rowan how to shear, how to drive the rusting farm utility vehicle, and, most importantly, how to listen to the land. At night, exhausted and aching, Rowan stayed in a small worker's cabin with only a kerosene lamp and the sounds of the bush for company. Yet something inside began to shift. There was clarity in the silence, pride in calloused hands, a beauty in the sunsets that no skyline could match. Rowan started to slow down, to notice the delicate art of viticulture, the rhythm of animal care, and the stories embedded in every stone wall and gnarled vine. And slowly, Cal's ice began to melt. Chapter 3: Beneath the Surface. One evening, Cal invited Rowan to join a vineyard walk at dusk. The light was golden, the breeze laced with eucalyptus and earth. They walked in silence at first, then spoke of roots, not just of vines, but of family. Cal had inherited the land under strange circumstances, a sibling's betrayal, the burden of legacy, a promise to a father no longer here. Rowan listened, not as a salesperson, but as someone who knew what it meant to lose faith in others. It was the first time they saw the vulnerability beneath Cal's rough edges. A few nights later, they shared a bottle from a private cellar, an unreleased vintage. The wine, like the moment, was complex, layered, and surprising. And when their hands brushed, neither moved away. It wasn't love yet, but it was something real. Chapter 4: The Harvest Storm. The weather turned. Fast. A violent storm rolled in during the early days of harvest. With barely a warning, wind and rain battered the land. Workers scrambled. Tarps flew. The vines, nearly ready, were at risk. Rowan didn't hesitate. They sprinted into the fray, helping secure crates, guide frightened sheep, and cover vulnerable rows. Cal noticed, saw more than a city, kid playing farmer. Saw heart, courage. After the storm passed, the damage was less than feared. Relief washed over the team, and Rowan collapsed into the mud beside Cal, laughing from sheer exhaustion. That night, they kissed under a sky swept clean of clouds. Chapter 5: Secrets in the Cellar. But paradise has shadows. Rowan's former boss had followed them to Australia, offering a partnership, one that would swallow the estate into corporate hands. Rowan declined, but the conversation had been overheard. When Cal found out, hurt boiled over. So this was all strategy? No, Rowan said. This was me trying to prove I was more than the deal. But trust, once cracked, is hard to restore. Rowan packed, heartbroken, unsure if they had lost both the vineyard and the person they had come to love. Chapter 6. The Taste of Truth. Back in San Francisco, everything felt gray. The city, once a beacon, now loomed empty. Rowan tried to rebuild, even launched their own label with modest success. But every sip tasted like regret. Then, one morning, a crate arrived. No note, just a single bottle of wine. Rowan knew the label by heart. Maddox Estate, the vintage they had shared. On the back, a message had been scrawled beneath the seal. You were right. It's not about the label. It's about the heart behind it. Rowan returned. Not for business, for love. They found Cal pruning vines, wearing the same skeptical expression. But this time it softened when Rowan stepped forward and said simply, I came back because I never really left. Cal nodded. Then stay. Not for the wine. For us. Chapter 7. A perfect vintage. 1 year later, the estate was thriving, not just in profits, but in spirit. Rowan had joined not as a buyer, but a partner. They launched a collaborative label, blending both their visions into something honest, bold, and undeniably theirs. Locals came to taste the story in every bottle. Under the shade of old gum trees, Cal and Rowan hosted seasonal dinners, sharing the fruits of labor and love. The vineyard, once a place of solitude, now echoed with laughter and promise. Their love wasn't perfect. It was better, rooted in truth, weathered by storms and always growing. Together, they had found more than a business deal. They had found a perfect pairing. If this tale touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more romantic stories like this. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a new upload. Give the video a like, leave a comment sharing your favorite part, and help us grow by sharing it with your friends.